Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Create with Brenda. I am Brenda Hillard, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in central Minnesota, north central Minnesota. And I have a fun little card for us today that I used for a card swap. So you can get all of my information right at the createwithbrenda.com that you see here on the screen. And please check me out. I'm on YouTube at Create with Brenda. I'm on Facebook with Create with Brenda. And you can sign up for my newsletter at createwithbrenda.com as well. So let's get started with today's project. I'm going to get rid of my logo here. And I want to share with you my monthly host code for, whoops, I moved my screen and not my host code. Try this again. There we go. So there's my monthly host code. Every month I feature a host code that allows you to purchase, and with a qualifying purchase and using my host code, you receive a free gift. So this month, when your product purchase is $50 or more, I will send you, of course, you will always receive a handmade thank you from me. But then I am going to send you a pack of these adorable resin star embellishments, and these are self-adhesive. So fun, fun, fun. That's the host gift for this month. The set that I'm going to be using today comes from the mini catalog. The mini catalog is good through, I'm going to take this reflection off from here. The mini catalog is good from January to June 30th of 2022. And the bundle that I'm going to use is this Cactus Cuties. Really, really a cute set, and it comes with the coordinating punch. So let me show you what we all have here. I have the stamp set. I'm going to get rid of my host code. You can always find my host code on my website, createwithbrenda.com. And here is the adorable coordinating punch. I'm going to be using the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. This carried over into the new catalog, so that's exciting. And the color I'm going to be using is, I believe this is the soft suede. All right. The ink pads I'm going to use is going to be Magenta Madness, retiring in color. Just Jade, retiring in color. Mint Macaron, which is from our Settles collection, our family collection. And Cinnamon Cider, retiring in color. All right. So the stamps I'm going to use is Hope Your Day is on Point, which I think that is adorable with the cactuses. I'm going to be using this barrel cactus. I'm going to be using this flower pot. And I have this cute little flower. What else do I have? And this little, I don't know if it's really a sprig or what it is. I thought it looked like a little tiny saguaro cactus. But yeah, so that's what we have. Here's what I have for cardstock, and there's lots of little pieces, but it's worth the effort here. So let's move this stuff off to the side. I have a card base, standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of Just Jade, and this measures 4 by 4 by 5 1/4. I don't know why I paused like that, but then I have another piece of, or I have 2 pieces actually of basic white that measure 3 3/4 by 5. So why do I have 2? Ooh, I don't know. I think you just really truly need 1, and I was just being overzealous with 2. I have 4 pieces of Just Jade, and these measure, my notes are gone. Here we go. Measures 1 3/8 by 1 7/8. So 4 pieces, 1 3/8 by 1 7/8. Then you're going to need 4 pieces of designer series paper, non-directional, and these measure 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. So 4 of those, and those are going to be glued right onto this mat. And then I have a piece of basic white, and that measures 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. And another piece of Just Jade that measures 1 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then I have just some scrap pieces. I have scrap pieces of mint macaron, scrap piece of basic white, and a scrap piece of magenta madness. All right, so let's, and of course an envelope. All right, here we go. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take some Stamp and Seal, and I'm just going to add this basic white that measured 3 3/4 by 5 onto the 4 by 5 1/4, centering that on our, matting it on that Just Jade base, okay? Then I can take this whole thing and add Stamp and Seal, and I better fold our card base here. I'm going to match up my corners, and then I'm going to use my bone folder to create a really nice crease and add my mat. There we go. You guys, I'm so excited. My new catalog, the annual catalog pre-order, arrived yesterday. I have it in a box, and I made a rule for myself that I had to get some videos done and get some projects using product from the January through June mini before I could dig into my new goodies. I'm really excited about the new in colors. They are even more beautiful in person. Be watching my newsletter. I'm going to be offering an in color club, which is a great deal, plus lots of fun fresh projects that I'll be creating and sending out to you if you decide to join my club. All right, so now I've got these 4 designer series papers on to the backing. And before I do the basic white onto the Just Jade, I want to stamp this. So I'm going to take the Just Jade ink pad, and I'm going to ink up my sentiment that says, "Hope your day is on point." Now, because I am using photopolymer, I want to bring in my piercing mat. I'm going to ink that up, moving it around on my stamp pad, getting it good and inked. And then I'm just going to center that right there onto my piece. Isn't that just the cutest little font? Love it. All right. So I take this and add some seal. And I'm just going to put that right on, center it on my piece. So it looks like that. All right, let's start assembling this a little bit. So is what I'm going to do first. And I really probably should use liquid glue for this. Just, it gives you just that quick second to move it around. So I'm going to add that, and I want to make it so that this border and this border are about the same, okay? Now I'm going to put some liquid glue on the second piece. My liquid glue is getting empty, so forgive me for the shaking, but I just have to get the glue down to the tip. All right, now I'm going to do that same thing over here. I'm going to put it down, and I want to make sure that that border is as close to the same as these are. So same here, okay? Now let's take our third piece here, add some liquid glue, and we're just going to center that in between. So now we have this. I'm going to add my sentiment, and that's going to go right down here, trying to leave that same border. I just love how this looks when it's finished, and I guess I didn't even share with you what we're working on here, but here's our card. And the designer series paper is part of the Bloom Where You Are Planted. Really, really pretty paper. So now I'm going to keep this border and this border. This isn't going to be the same, and this isn't going to be the same. But as you can see, when we put on our punched piece there, it kind of camouflages that area where they don't match up. Okay, so there's that. Now let's bring in our scrap piece of white. And I want to ink up our flower pot using the cinnamon cider. I'm so sad this color is retiring. I loved this color. So I will continue to use it until it retires on May 2nd. I'm going to just stamp our flower pot. And you saw me bring in the piercing mat again with the photopolymer, right? Then I'm going to bring in my scrap piece. Well, before we do that, let's punch this, okay? So all I'm going to do, slide this in, match up my flower pot, and punch. Put that right there. This does get lighter as it dries, just a little bit. Then I'm going to take my scrap of mint macaron, which it's really not a scrap, but it's the smallest piece I had. And I'm going to take my feral cactus, and oops, you know what? This is soft sea foam. I'm sorry, but I am going to stamp on the soft sea foam using the mint macaron ink. I'm going to ink this up really well, moving it around on my stamp pad. And then I'm just going to, let me look at my punch. I think I want to stamp down here. Yep. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp 2 of them, and I'll show you why in just a second. I think my mint macaron stamp pad needs to be re-inked just a little bit, but this will work perfect for this project. So I'm going to take my first feral cactus and I'm going to punch it. And I want that piece. Then I'm going to take this little piece right here and I'm going to punch. I want to save that. And I'm going to move it over here and I'm going to punch again. Okay. So now I have my 2 pieces that I need there. And again, that was the soft seafoam cardstock. And I stamped on it with mint macaron to get that shade of green. All right, so our next step is to punch out just a couple of the flowers here. So I have my scrap of Magenta Madness. I'm gonna punch, punch, and punch. Maybe I'll just do one more for good measure. Why not, right? We got the paper there. All right, now I have little flowers that I can add to my card along with cactus. Perfect. All right, let's bring in our piece. And is what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to add some dimensionals. And I want full size dimensionals here. And I'm just going to add those onto my flower pot, taking the backings off with my take your pick tool. I'm going to set that right here. Remember how I wanted to kind of cover up that offset? And then, oops, I better put my cap on my glue. Sorry about that. All right, let's add some dimensionals to our barrel cactus. And I'm going to keep those just to the center so that I can place in our other little pieces here as we go along. I'm just going to tuck that in so it looks like it's coming out of our flower pot. Put a dimensional on. Flip that over. Put one on there. There we go. My gosh, you guys, my fingers aren't working today. Let me just take this and pick up that backing. And I'm going to place that right up in here like it's a little offshoot from our cactus. And I'll do another one over here. Right? So then with just a couple dots of glue, I'm going to add a dot. That's what happens when you don't close your, right? There's our dot, and I'm going to put another one down here. And then we'll pick up our flowers. And I'll add one here, here, down here. There it goes. And then just to give it a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to color my flowers with Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is simply just a glitter pen that adds great visual interest to your cards. And then I want to take just our baker's twine here, and I'm going to tie just a small bow. I don't want it too big. I don't want it to overwhelm our little flower pot. Take my ribbon scissor. And my ribbon scissor, when I say that, is simply just snips. But I have one pair that I use for ribbons that has this scissor charm on it. And then the other one that I have here with the ribbon is for my paper. And my ribbon scissor stays good and sharp. Now I'm going to grab a blue dot. I'm going to put that right here on my, oops, right there on my flower pot. Wow, it's liking me and not the flower pot, but that's okay. All right, gonna fight me. I'm going to win. There you go. Just like that. And there is our adorable art for today. I hope you love it. Remember, we've got Retiring in colors. We've got Cinnamon Cider, Magenta Madness, Just Jade, Bumblebee, Misty Moonlight, and yeah, so 5 colors going out, 5 new colors coming in. Stay tuned. I'll be showing you those new 5 in colors here really, really soon. All right, everybody. Until next time. Bye-bye.